Yeah. Fuck around and run it up. I got lit up in my car. Yeah. I just really love the money. Money really love me. I bought a band for a fee. I bought a band for the fee. My niggas only gotta eat. These bitches only gotta flee. Yeah, I got it, what you need. I told these niggas stop lacking. He said he told her never had it. She been over and I grabbed it. Clip 21 in the 7. All my niggas keep it ratchet. You need to go get you some money. You need to quit and stop fronting. I keep that bitch out, she won't fuck it. Bitch, I call you Uber for nothing. My shooters, I swear they for nothing. You run up, I swear I'm a dump. Niggas broken, they ain't, man, they funny. Bring that sack up and got me some money. Fuck around and run it up.
What's up, everybody?
I got me up in my cup. These niggas know what's up. Clip longer than a bus. I ain't really with the fuss. You say the wrong shit, I'm a bust. Only God I trust. Only squad I trust. Fuck around and run it up. I got me up in my cup. These niggas know what's up. Clip longer than
Microsoft games are mediocre. Yo, Clifton, what's good? I got a mod you, Clifton. I'm sorry, my bad. I meant to mod you. I gotta move some people out my mods and put some people in. Anyway, all right, let's stop that. Let's stop that. Good morning. All right, I gotta change some stuff around with my mods. By the way, Clifton, I'm gonna add you. I gotta remove like 2 or 3 people out of my mod status because they no longer here. RIP to wherever they be. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about it. Okay, so State of Decay 2. First of all, before I begin talking about the issues I'm seeing with people who are reporting on State of Decay, because there's a lot of misinformation going around, and I know that for a fact. Okay. Game over HD. I'll see about it. I'll see about it. I'm gonna make a couple people mods, and I'm gonna move a couple people off. All right. Let me say this before I even get into this whole thing about State of Decay 2, because there's something I'm seeing on YouTube. It's very corny, and nobody like really says anything about it. People just go with the flow, and I get that people like to have content. People like to have something to talk about. I get all of that chatty patty stuff that people do on YouTube. You know me, I'm not for the chatty patty nonsense, right? But here's the situation. I saw. All right, let's use some people for an example. Let's use people like Bond, Rand, and I think who's the other one? Oh no, it's Alex, right? He said I lost weight. Nah, it's just that y'all don't really see me in a t-shirt. I usually be having on like 6 shirts when y'all see me when I got on that big ass hoodie. But anyway, let's use them for an example. They all just got PS3s like in the last couple of months, right? And they're revisiting old games on the PlayStation that they never played. That's totally understandable. But for the people who are taking State of Decay 2 and comparing it to State of Decay 1, who never played State of Decay 1 when it first came out, I think y'all need to chill. And the reason I'm going to say that, and I'm going to explain why I'm saying that, is because you can't take a game, like let's say for instance The Last of Us, which came out in 2013. You cannot take a game like that and say, hey, I heard The Last of Us was a masterpiece. I heard The Last of Us was the best game ever created until God of War. I heard The Last of Us is the shit on PlayStation if you want to play. It's great. Can't wait until 2018 and say, hey, everybody kept talking about The Last of Us. Let me go play this game and see if this game is trash or not. And go in there with expectations you should have had in 2013. You cannot hold a game that is 5 years old up to the expectations of games that are coming out in 2018, simply because they are dated. You can't take The Last of Us and go, hey, I thought that game was trash. I heard it was hot fire. I went to play it last night and I was disappointed. I'm like, my man, if you're playing The Last of Us in 2018 for the first time, your expectation should be, oh, okay, I see what they were saying back in the day. Not, this game is not fire. No, of course it's not fire now. Granted, I still think the game is great. Of course it's not fire now because the game has been out for 5 years. It is dated now. That's why they are making a sequel. You will judge the sequel based off the first one and say, hey, the first one was dope back then, so I'm definitely getting a new one. That's the way you look at these older games. So Now let's talk about State of Decay. I'm gonna talk about the co-op feature, and I'm explaining it to y'all because a lot of people seem like they don't understand it, and I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on with the game. All right, first of all, shout out to Undead Labs because that is a very small group of people who are actually backed by Microsoft. So let's answer the question of State of Decay, a AAA or indie game. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest, and I say this because I'm disappointed that they're actually stamping this with this label. They're considering State of Decay 2 a AAA game. I don't agree with that, but I understand technically that it is because Microsoft is backing the game. Now, the game is $30 not because of no installation base, because people are saying they wanted a big install base, so they made the game $30. We know that's a lie because you put it in Games Pass. So if you put it in Games Pass, $10 would have got you the game. $30, yeah, you could own it. But let's be honest, that's a lie. I mean, I'm pretty sure, quote unquote, it's not a lie. They really mean what they say, but it's bullshit. Let me just put it like that. Now, with that being said, State of Decay is definitely an indie game. State of Decay 1, for $30, you got a lot for your money. Then they came out with a year 1 edition and a remake for Xbox, and they added in Breakdown and Lifeline, which if you add all of those modes into the actual story with the game, you got a $60 game in State of Decay 1. Now, was the game State of Decay great? No, it was not a great game. It is a fun game. It is an enjoyable game. It is a $30 game. Just like Hellblade. Was Hellblade amazing? No, it was dope. Yeah, what they did was great. The sound in Hellblade is spectacular. But you have to compare a game like State of Decay to a game like Hellblade. You cannot take State of Decay 2 and go, hey, God of War came out. What are you doing, Xbox? What are you doing with this? No, you can't do that. It's not that kind of game. Granted, it has a AAA budget. And I use these air quotations very fucking freely right now. Yes, it has a AAA budget. It's not a AAA game. Undead Labs is a small group of people. They did an amazing job to me with the first State of Decay. I played it in 2013 like you were supposed to. Or in 2013 when the remake, pardon me, I think it came out 2012. I might be wrong. I actually think it came out before 2013 because the original Xbox came out in 2013 with the re-release, which was a year later. So I think it came out in 2012. Of course, y'all could Google that and check because I'm pretty certain that it came out the year before the Xbox One came out. So I'm thinking 2012 is when this game came out. Now you have people in 2018 who are actually critiquing State of Decay based off the original State of Decay, which came out in 2012. Because the one that came out for Xbox was just a re-release, and the resolution was bumped 720 to 1080. Or 900. One of those weird resolutions. I played it on PC in 4K. The first time I played it, I beat it on Xbox 360. Then I re-beat it on PC. Then I re-beat it on Xbox. Well, I'm in the process of re-beating it now on Xbox One. Over again, because you know you get the achievements twice if you beat it on 2 different platforms. So I actually beat the game a number of 4 times, and I enjoy the game. The reason I enjoy State of Decay, let me just say this, is because it feels like the closest thing you can get to The Walking Dead as far as a video game. Now, I am a huge zombie fan. I love zombie games. So if it's a zombie game and it has some decent mechanics, or it looks like it has a decent mechanic, and it's not a gimmicky type of game where they took a game and they couldn't sell it, so they made the characters into zombies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Where they take a trash game and they make the enemies, quote-unquote, zombies now because they were regular enemies and it didn't work. So that AI can be retarded. You have something to shoot at. It gives it a thrilling feeling, and it's gimmicky. So I don't like those type of zombie games. State of Decay, to some people who would not know, comes off like that. I'm gonna be honest, it comes off like that gimmicky zombie game, but it's really not. It's an open world game based in a survival zombie horror experience. Now, what makes the game dope is you're in a community and you're out. So pretty much you have to scavenge, you have to run around, you run into hordes of all kinds of zombies and creatures, and you have to like get through them, kill them. You just pretty much have to survive, get to those resources. You got to get things like oil, food, medicine, and you know, you have other communities that you bump into that you can trade with. Sometimes communities get overrun with zombies and you have to take them and bring them back to your community. It's just like The Walking Dead. It's just like that, and that's what I like about the game. Now, I like the experience of the game. People are critiquing the graphics. People are talking about the frame rate. People are talking about bugs. State of Decay, the original game, did not have bugs like what they are. What I'm reading. I'm reading articles and they're saying it had game-breaking bugs. No, it didn't. That's a lie. It has severe bugs. No, it didn't. That's a lie. So when I see people say, hey, State of Decay 2, the same bugs that plagued the first one return, I'm like, bro, what are y'all talking about? It had what you expect in a game with those type of control mechanics, where if you run into the wall, you might swing your axe and next you know you see it sticking out the other side. Little stupid stuff like that. It's not game breaking. It's not nothing that you're gonna see and go, hey, I've never seen that in a game before. That's really bad programming. That's really bad development. It's nothing like that. So the game is getting a lot of unwarranted hate. And I was gonna make this video 2 days ago, but I just didn't have the time. But I said I gotta get on here and I gotta talk about what I'm seeing, because it's definitely unwarranted. It's a bit exaggerated and things like that. It's like too much nonsense going on right now. It's too much negativity. It's too much reaching for negativity to put. Now, for the people who are taking State of Decay 2 and saying Xbox games are trash, this is the next big AAA. It's like I said, Microsoft is making a big mistake, in my opinion, by calling this game a AAA, packaging it as a AAA for $30. Remember, you get what you pay for, and that is the situation with State of Decay. You are getting a $30 game. You're gonna get a game. Now, granted, I felt like State of Decay 1 should have been a $59.99 game when you got the Breakdown Lifeline and the Youst edition where you get everything in one. He said State of Decay day one buy. I agree with you, my brother. And that's the thing. And I feel like State of Decay is getting a lot of unwarranted hate. I feel like people's expectations are a little too high. And I'm here to tell y'all, it's a great game if you enjoy survival horror zombie games. Now, it's not necessarily scary, but it's very riveting. It's very thrilling. It's like you could be in a room. Next, you know, you start looking for something and you find it, and you might trigger some kind of noise, and one zombie hears you. Then, next, you know, you got like 10 zombies trying to break into the house while you're in there, and you have to figure out if you should go upstairs and jump out the window and leave, or if you should just shoot, stand there and thug it out, fight. You could call people to come and loot the house for you, because you might feel like you can't do it by yourself, and leave, and then let them come and loot it, and then come. So many different things for. So it goes back to what I said about Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's a situation where you got to give them respect for paying so much attention to detail. This could have been a mindless zombie game, and it's not. It's not like H1Z1. It's way more detailed than that. It has a lot of, like I said, it has a lot of attention to detail as far as like, all right, let me give you an example. If you sit in your house for 3 days straight on a game, right? One of the people in your camp could get sick. And if you don't have enough resources, they will die. So you can lose characters in permadeath by not taking them out, getting medicine, keeping your stash supply up. Or you could take characters and send them out, and they could go out there. You could say you discover an area on the map that you haven't been able to check the buildings yet, right? You could radio to your base and tell your men to go to that area and search it. Now, it's not what you think. The way it sounds, it's going to be like some computer simulated shit. This is how it works. Your character physically goes to that area and starts searching. Now, if you didn't go kill the zombie hordes or the special infected or the characters that are there, the infection rate is considered, and they have what's called an infection rate. It's considered high in that area, making it dangerous. Your character could go missing. Like, your character could literally, one of the characters you pick to play with, you might build him up, make him level 5. He might be able to use a gun better than everybody else. He might be what's called a heavy fighter. He might, and you send him out there thinking he can handle himself, and he go out there with like another scout, and you'll get a message saying, hey, you sent Timmy out to such and such location, and we haven't heard from him since. You might want to go check on him. Now, if you ignore that message and decide to happen and just be on a mission and ride over there, you'll go there and find his backpack where he was eating and all of that. Like, this game is crazy. Like, people don't give this game enough credit. So if you find out he went missing, or you notice he didn't come right back, you could drive to that location and you'll find him in the building stuck, trapped by zombies, and then you have to fight to get him out of there and bring him back to the base. The game is fire. Like, it low-key is fire, but people are like overlooking all of this because they're doing things like looking at the graphics, and the game actually is not bad graphically. I see people knocking the game graphically. The game is not bad graphically. This game does a really good job of giving you a Walking Dead type of game for $30, and people are not giving it enough credit at all, man. At all, man. Really, they're not. So I had to make a video to talk about this because the game is actually doing better than some of the games that Microsoft released for $50 and $60, in my opinion, man. Really, really, like, no lie at all, man. I heard somebody say it had bad graphics yesterday. I'm not gonna get into who, but I'll be paying attention to some of what people say on YouTube, and I did actually hear somebody with my own two ears say the game has bad graphics yesterday. I heard it said. I heard it being said, and I'm not talking about Press Start Podcast, because somebody gonna say, oh, he said that to my press. I'm not talking about that podcast. I heard it last night somewhere else. So I'm just addressing things that I'm hearing about the game that are not true. It's not about being mad or saying that it's media bias. I actually got to the point where I don't even think it's media bias. I think it's just people creating content for clicks. And like, there's a little wave to ride Microsoft into the ground, of course, because there's this narrative that God of War is so great and Xbox don't have no games, which is actually technically not true. Microsoft has games, but now the narrative is going from they don't have games to they have mediocre games, which is definitely a fact. I'm not going to sit here and hold y'all. I'm not going to damage control that. I'm not going to lie about it. When I play a game like God of War, and then I play a game like State of Decay 2, if you compare the two, State of Decay 2 is completely and utter mediocre trash. But I know what State of Decay 2 is, and it's exactly what I want. So I'm happy. And this goes into the negative energy that I'm talking about too. A lot of dudes, in my personal opinion, seem like they're not happy gamers. They're not happy. Like, everything is to complain about. Just, if the game is not for you, the game is not for you. But going into the game saying, hey, I never played the first one, I've been reading these articles, this game gotta be trash, you're foolish to listen to those clickbait articles and content. You know, you gotta judge for yourself. Don't go play State of Decay 1 tonight going, hey, this game is so overrated, this is complete and utter trash, and it came out in 2012. Now, in Undead Labs' defense, they did say flat out that State of Decay 2 is going to be what they learned from State of Decay 1, pretty much with co-op. Now, let's talk about the co-op real fast, because I see there was a lot of talk about the co-op and people not understanding the situation. The co-op feature in State of Decay 2 is a fan service feature. Doesn't make it okay, but I'm going to explain what's going on. People wanted State of Decay to have a co-op feature or online capability so that people could play with each other. Pretty much what the co-op mode is in the game is just for you guys to have shits and giggles and have fun. It's not something where people are going to... Damn, those things are loud when they turn over there. It's not something where people are going to get on there and start beating the game, progressing. I know some of y'all dudes rely on playing your stories and all that with people. I'm not one of those people. I do not like to play online. I'm not too fond of playing with people online. And I personally, unless I'm playing a game like The Last of Us or something like that, I'm really not too into that type of shit. So for me, it's something that I could live without completely. So I'm okay with it. But let me explain to y'all what is happening. So pretty much what happens when you play State of Decay, what's happening is it's doing a online connection. Whoever, one person will host a game. And pretty much what happens is if you walk too far from that person, you will lose the connection, or the game, to keep from losing the connection, it will rubber band you back to the person so that you're not splitting up the bandwidth of the game. So pretty much, yes, that's bogus, but let's be honest, it's a $30 game. I don't know how you expect to go co-op and say, hey, you're in Georgetown, I'm going to fucking Michigan, I'll be right back, do what you're doing and I'll meet up with you. It's not an MMO. It's not an MMO. People have gotten spoiled by things like that, and they think that State of Decay is some kind of MMO. It's not. It's a co-op game where it's 4 people in a contained area, and y'all just play missions for shits and giggles. Whatever items you acquire will carry over into your single player game, but that's pretty much all you can do is play and grind out items and resources, which is actually a good thing because considering the type of game a State of Decay is, you might need that shit. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But however, it is slightly disappointing. But for me, it's not. I'm okay with co-op because I wasn't gonna play with nobody to begin with anyway. So I'm okay with that. I'm not looking to hook up with nobody for game night on State of Decay 2 and play with them. Screw everybody. No, I'm just joking, but I'm just not the type of person that is looking to play with a bunch of people or looking to hook up with nobody. So for me, it don't even matter. I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. 100%. Xbox is dying. Xbox is definitely going through a change. At this point, I don't know if I would say dying, but honestly, I feel that way because when I was talking to Bond about that, pretty much saying that you're okay with not selling games but selling services means that you're not making the money you have the potential to make if you have a thriving console. So of course that's not a good thing. So yes, if you want to break it down, in my opinion, that does mean Xbox is dying. But people are running around here acting like you know, Xbox is just trying to go electronic, digital. But in my opinion, no, that means they're dying. I agree with you. I agree with you. He said, I saw this 6 months ago. Yeah, I saw this a while ago, man. I saw this a while ago, but it's not. I wish it would be something different. I wish it would be something different. I really do. If Game Pass was $10 to play all the games in Game Pass and they break it down to one, that's bad. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I was saying. I mean, I look at it like this. Let's break down the Game Pass situation real fast. Game Pass is $10 a month. So the owners. So every month or however they pay out, they have to pay these people to keep those games inside of the Games Pass library because they're pretty much renting out games from the game developers, right? So if it's $10 a month, how much do they pay per game per month? That's why they said there's going to be a rotation of games that come in and out of there. So games that are not performing for what they paid, they will probably be removing them from the library. But in order for this library to work, they have to kind of just keep piling games in there, whether they work or not, just to give people the variety so that that thing is more appealing for them. You get what I'm saying? So with that being, wow, that was bad. My phone froze up. That was my phone actually. It wasn't even my network. But I was gonna end the stream anyway. I guess everybody bounced out. But that was definitely not the network. That was my phone. My phone froze up. So anyway, y'all be good, man. Enjoy y'all weekend. I'll see if I could come back with another stream. Maybe talk about something else. But I'm gonna get out of here. So it is what it is. Peace, y'all. Nah, no chicken, man. No chicken. I'm gonna have turkey today. Peace, y'all.